Got to turn the microphone on. Look for day 169 of exile. Why do we give it such a dramatic name? Exile. That implies it was intentional and not our own idiocy coming to bite us. Tripping over backwards into an open portal. And tell me before our device was broken, because that makes it seem at least more intentional. Yeah? More like it was due to an outside factor rather than us tripping backwards. Our interdimensional travel device is fine. It's just in another dimension, as are most of our contacts and allies, inventions, materials, and just about everything else that wasn't already here. Thankfully, there were things, including our old laptop. We came back here the moment we left. Our stomach's rumbling. Here we are without a shelter, without any safeguards. We have made some companions who have helped us find a place to sleep during the day. Grateful for that. And streaming's been going relatively well, all things considered. But overall, we're stuck, stranded in this apocalyptic, not apocalyptic, dystopian universe, like an island in the sea. At the very least, this island has people to talk to. But nevertheless, it is an island, and one we are stranded in. It's easy for us to forget just how hostile the world is. Look at that. Our buttons. They must have muted the colors somehow during the transparency rig. It serves our melancholic mood well enough, we suppose. Here we are with our lousy USB microphone. Granted, it was a Christmas gift. But for us, it's more of a Yuletide gift. We're not Christian, we're pagan. So here we are, stuck trying to claw our way out of a situation that intentionally tries to keep you in the dirt, tries to drag you down to a level deeper than where the moles go. Deeper yet deeper. So deep you couldn't use an excavator to dig it out. And it's not fair. We all know it's not fair. It's not fair. Hold on. Let us turn up the microphone. Or did we turn it down? Or are we just quiet? We're just quiet, we suppose. It makes sense, of course. It makes sense. It makes a sad sort of sense. Without our resources, we can't really work on any devices. No inventions to help us out of this jam. And of course, the world seems out to get homeless people. Our resources for food has run almost completely dry. And overall, we have found ourselves in a more depressed, more melancholic state of mind. Normally, this would be written down, not by pen and paper. We have problems with our joints that make it hurt to physically write, you know? But we would type it down into a document of some sort. Of course, we are without any of our normal safeguards in order to fight off against executive dysfunction and various other mental health issues. They still weren't perfect, by no means. They still caused problems. Right now, we can't bring ourselves to write down and think out a log of some sort. So we've decided, why not make audio recordings? We're adding visuals through our model, but otherwise, God, we're starving. A friend of ours managed to give us some cash, so that's good. Some pesos, some yen, some dollars, some pounds, some euros, whatever you want to call them. We never felt comfortable revealing our location. And of course, an old, shall we say, friend has made an appearance on this world. Only one possible explanation for that. That would be Ingrid the Ingrate, a reality bending goddess, reincarnated as a human, believed to be a reincarnation of Loki, in a sense. Far more powerful than he is in those myths, however. She seems to have a complete control over the fabric of reality. Often she will appear to us as a form of, well, it's mostly when she's bored. And of course, we are immortal. What's known as a true immortal can't die. The way we found out we were immortal was a universe collapsed in onto us. Long story. That's how impervious to death we are. Not impervious to pain or sickness or ailment, mind you. But we can't break our arms. A bullet can't pierce us, though it can hurt like hell. And various other small things like that. Well, as you can imagine, for an immortal reality bender, having a toy that can't break is rather appealing. So, we're often subjected to that. We doubt we're the only one. Though we're the only one to have a personal history with her that we'd rather not divulge in right now. One thing we forgot when perusing through here. When perusing through the perusing, we still can't get the hang of words and pronunciation and the like. We should look into a diagnosis for dyslexia at some point. Hmm. Sorry, we lost our train of thought. What were we saying? Damn it. Damn it. Not again. Not again. Not again. What were we saying? We were saying something important. Is this the author's doing? Better damn well not be. We're very tired. We're stranded. Away from our comrades and friends. From our associates. Right. Right. We remember what we were going to talk about now. We were perusing through our local library's nonfiction section, and we come across a book on chaos theory. It's strange to see a book still considered relevant in this so-called modern era that seems to tout chaos theory as if it's still relevant and not unproven by the multiverse laughing in our face at our attempts to create any patterns at all. The truth is, there isn't any order. The only possible order is through death, the utter annihilation of things. Less to organize that way, we suppose. There are 4 entities said to have created the multiverse. The first of them is known as Negligence, though Doctor Who fans may know him by another name. He's the inventor of things, that is to say, matter, objects, planets, stars, inanimate objects. Then came his brother, known as the Prankster, though My Little Pony fans might know him by yet another different name. He created life, and by extension, chaos. Negligence, he built things in order to play his games, the things that he was the embodiment of. But not the prankster. The prankster just wanted to see what would happen. After all, inanimate objects don't move much. They tend to get boring. Then came the author. We'll get to the author. The youngest of them is Ordinance, also known as the Guardian. Ordinance was the creator of death, and is de facto the entity of order. At least as far as all records are assured. We've never encountered her ourselves. We do know that she tends to be the weakest of the four. Still powerful compared to a mere mortal, but the weakest by comparison. She tends to want everything in existence wiped away, including herself, though she has to come last. The author is the one we have the most personal experience with. She's the embodiment of stories. And as it turns out, in predator prey relationships, it's, well, it wasn't even that, we don't think. That hadn't been invented yet. But, mm, you know, a thing existed, the end, is not usually a very engaging story. She didn't invent emotions. That was the prankster's doing. She invented sapience, the ability to think, essentially, in the way that a person might. Person meaning any sapient being, not just humans. Apologies. It's hard to think some days. Think of anything other than whatever we're hyperfixating on, anyhow. Anyways, the author, also known as Delusion, she is incredibly dangerous. The prankster and negligence, that's right, negligence. Negligence and the prankster can both manipulate reality. The prankster can't kill things, and negligence is subject to a game if challenged. But both can treat reality as their playthings. The author, at first glance, seems less dangerous, in that she can't control material reality. However, she can control sapient minds, mind control and the like. Including the ability to take sapience away. Her weakness changes every time. You may be wondering what that means. It means that if she had no weaknesses, or the same weakness every time, that would make for rather dull stories. And she is the embodiment of them. It's what she feeds on. Tales told. As such, there has to be a way to defeat her. It changes every time. You can get the same one twice, the same method twice, we should clarify. But it's immensely difficult. Every time we've encountered her has been some of the most terrifying moments of our immortal life. Nearly 1,000 years old, and she still just terrifies us. We're homeless at the moment. Very few avenues of escape. We're talking with people in order to help get us out, both friends and people whose job it is to do as such, like an American social worker, for example. I'm sure what them. Just it's been difficult, as you can imagine. We can't do any real scientific research. Our laptop has the computing capacity of, well, a 4 to 5 year old laptop, though it is a very top of the line one in that sense. It's a gaming computer. We got it for streaming back before we traveled the multiverse, and this face was genuinely just a model, a mask to wear to help us show our true face. And we didn't even know we were multiple people back then. We had to take down all those videos, those older videos, because of our voice just sounding nothing like us. And we don't know. We feel like our voice is a lot lower than normal. You can hear it on stream. It sounds a lot different. But we don't know. We don't know. We're stuck for the time being. And we can't even write things down. Which is a shame because we have like 3 separate writing projects we need to do. So we're stuck here for the time being. We'll get out of here eventually. We know our friends are working on a way out. They probably already done it. It just takes time discrepancies. Discrepancies. Time discrepancies. See, traveling the multiverse, you can also kind of travel through time. As in, it feels like time travel, but it isn't. Because there isn't a timeline or anything. It's another dimension that happens to take place however long it was before. So if you went to a dimension and you ended up in 1895, that would be a dimension where it's 1895 and it's, let's see, 131 years later. Or rather, it's a dimension where it's 131 years earlier than it is now. The same thing can apply to even milliseconds. This does mean you can change history however you like, without any consequences. Though unless you have a time-traveling device, you can't see the changes that made. Time travel is way more restrictive anyways. All fixed points in time and knowing what will happen. It also feels a little too close to something resembling destiny or fate. Something that doesn't exist. We know that. We know gods exist, but there isn't some big, all-controlling thing over our lives that, can't be trifled with or interfered with in some way. Apologies. It's a pocket watch we got. It's not any special trinket or anything like that. It needs a new battery. Got it for free. There was a group giving out items to the homeless. And we got a free meal, new clothes, and this nice pocket watch. We even got a shower. We need a shower. We don't have a body odor problem, thank the gods, but we think we need it for our mental well-being more than anything. More importantly, we need to eat. So we suppose we should go out and do that now. Again, we have some money. Not a lot, but It's enough for a few meals, we suppose. In any case, thank you for tuning in to this Midnight Feature presentation. This has been log number 169. Time recorded, midnight. Or it's always midnight somewhere. Thank you and good night. End recording.